Hello everyone. This is Maria with mariascraftingcorner.com. Welcome to another paper crafting video. I am so excited you guys are here with me today. So today is Wednesday and I am really sorry guys that I was not able to be live yesterday. I was having a really bad cough and to be fully honest, I could not stop coughing. Although I do not have cold symptoms or anything like that symptoms, it's just a really odd cough. It's a dry cough. Every so often I feel like kind of like I can't breathe, and so I start coughing. Super odd, guys. Today has been a little bit better. I have been coughing, but much less. And so I figure I'm going to try to do a pre-recorded video with a card that we were supposed to do yesterday. Pre-recorded helps me to, stop and pause if I need a minute, go drink some water and kind of take a breathe. And if a breather, and if I in the end end up feeling really bad, then I will just stop the video and resume tomorrow. So fingers crossed we are able to do our whole live today. Our whole video today. Okay, so there are like about 100,000 things going on with Stampin' Up, guys. I've said this in the past. I can barely keep up. But let's get started with some of them, and this will be the announcement, guys. So if you don't want to hear about this, you can probably move forward. It's not going to take me long, in spite of the amount of stuff. Okay, let's start. The first thing is this. So we are having, guys, these coupons. We've had them last year. I find them really cool, and so it's going to go through the month of July. For every $50 you buy, you're going to get a $5 coupon, and you're going to be able to redeem it in August. I think it's a really cool idea. I love it, mainly because I am a demonstrator, and so in August, actually, we get, as demonstrators, we are able to check out the coming mini catalog, and so I will be able to use whatever I kind of save all those coupons and utilize them for that mini catalog. So it works really well for me. Now, if you want to know more about becoming a demonstrator and kind of having all those benefits, please guys, let me know. Send me an email to maria@mariascraftingcorner.com. It's just right down there. So you can learn about what are the benefits of becoming a demonstrator. This is one of them, right? A lot of these sales and there's a lot of pieces that are catered to demonstrators. So again, just send me an email. We can chat about it. The next thing I want to bring out to your attention is that today we started the new online exclusives. Let me remove that. And there are a lot. There's 2 suites, I want to say. There's a few bundles. A few things, beautiful things. Very holiday oriented. So I think you're going to love them. I've shown you a couple in here. I didn't get them all, but I'm pretty sure you've seen all of those other demonstrators that got them all, and you have now a really good idea of what's really there, right? Sometimes looking in the website is not the same as actually seeing, I don't know, pattern paper. Like if you want to see the DSP, you see it piece by piece, and then it's much easier to really see what you're going to like. And along with the new online exclusives, we have 2 new kits, and let me show them. So here is one. This one is called Garden of Thanks, and I think you know by now how much I like purple and fresh freesia and greens, and I just cannot tell you how much I like this kit. It is soft, it is beautiful. I would say totally worth it. So I am probably going to get this one. Um, and here we go. Here's the next kit, and that's called Circus Celebration. And I'm gonna say this: I'm not a circus fan. I think I'm like really scared of clowns, and so like I don't know, the whole circus thing kind of does not. I'm just not in love with it. So that said, this kit is gorgeous. First of all, it's super cheap. It's like $14, right? And it is so beautiful. The colors are bright and bold, and the little elephants and the animals. I mean, all in all, is really, really cute. So I would say, guys, if you have kids in your family and you every so often send, birthday or any kind of card to them, this is a great, great kit for you to get. I am thinking if I'm missing something, I just want to remind you real quick that this is the gift that you'll be getting this month for if you choose to buy from me. $50 before shipping and taxes and more. Okay, let's get crafting. You will see, guys, I have not had a lot of time to change my paper. I just turned it around. So it's not very cool, but saving paper maybe? Yes. So that's one thing. The second thing is this card I saw from, oh goodness, cards by Renat. Okay, let me put it out here, guys, because I know I have it. I know I have it. I'm sorry. Whoops. Guess I should have been. Yeah, cards by Renat, which I don't know how to pronounce that in English. And I am going to show you the card, and I saw it on Pinterest. And let me just come here real quick so you guys can see the card that I saw. Now, the card that I saw, her card is stunning. From what I can tell, it's much bigger than mine. I'm thinking it's probably 6 by 6. That is my first guess. Let me show you. Here it is. Maybe? Okay, here it is. Okay, so if you guys can tell, let me make it a little bigger. Yeah, again, it's really, really beautiful card. I could not make it bigger. That's fine. It's really beautiful. She created this triangular form, and it's a pop-up, and it's really, really cool. So I have to tell you, I saw this card a while back. It was in my list to do, and I decided to do it now. The problem I have, and I want to show you because you guys are probably going to laugh. If I click the link, it will take me to her website, but it does not take me to the card exactly. And since I don't know how to name the card or anything, I can look for it. So that's where we're at. That was the sorry, guys. That was one of the problems I had. The second problem I had, guys, is I had seen, and I want to show you that as well. So let me come here while I search for what I want to show you. When I look for this, sorry guys, this pop up in my Pinterest feed. Okay, maybe not. I can't open it. That's off. So let me make it real big so you guys can see what I am seeing. Okay. Let me show you here. So I have found this template. It is in centimeters, and this is a template I followed using the other picture as a guide for what we're going to be doing today. So I have to tweak the measurements a little bit. There were a few mistakes I did. I am pretty sure it's not totally correct still. But hey, if somebody can perfect it, you can let us know and we will really, really appreciate it. Okay, so what do we need? We need one piece of beady peacock that actually I don't have here. So let me go get that. Super quick. I'm sorry about that. I know what I was thinking. Okay, so we are going to cut one piece at, so let me go back a little bit. We need two pieces of pretty peacock measuring, one measuring 8.5 by 5.5, and that is going to be this one. We're going to score this one at 4.25. And this is going to be our card base, okay? And now, or our main card base, we're going to need, and I'm going to cut this here 1 second, we're going to need a piece of 5 by 10.5. Let me go get, no, go get, let me go cut this real quick. Whoops, I'm sorry, guys. And 10.5, okay? I'm lying to you guys. It's 5.5. I got totally confused by the belly band for whatever reason. It's 5 by 8. Sorry, guys. So 5 by 8, 5 by 8. Remember that, but all those measurements are going to be in our description. No, in the PDF tutorial that I will put up tomorrow. So hopefully you don't get all distracted by my mistakes here with the measurements. Sorry. We're going to work real quick on this one, which will be the piece that's going to create that pop-up, triangular pop-up. And we're going to start here. I am bringing, guys, my pencil, and hopefully you are able to see. It's a little bit rough to see, but I think we are going to be able to survive. So the first thing, and we're going to make this together. Okay, so we're going to bring this up here, and I'm going to mark up here at the top at 1.5. And now we are going to move all the way to 3.25. There is 3.25, and we are going to mark on the bottom right there. And I know it's very hard to see, but I'm making a mark. Now we're going to go to 4, which is, you know, the half of our card, and I'm going to score all the way. We're going to go to 4.75, and here you go. And I'm going to mark again in the bottom, or in the bottom edge. And now we're going to go, let me open this real quick, at 6.5, and we're going to mark up the top. Okay, I'm going to move back again to the 4-inch mark, so that line that we already made, that score line, and we are going to mark in the score line. So this first one is going to be at 3/4 from here, right? And so this is 5, and so 3/4 would be 4.25, right? And that is give or take. It does not have to be a perfect, but I'm making a mark in there, right? And now the next one is going to be a 3. Yeah, it's right there. Sorry, guys. I was kind of debating if I had done that correctly. Now we're going to turn our card over, and we are going to align again here at 1.5. And we are going to make a mark. Let me move this here so you guys can see better. A mark on the top and on the bottom. Okay, and then we are going to move to 3.25. It's right there, 3 1/4, and we're going to do the same mark on the top and on the bottom. Okay, and that's pretty much the gist of it. So now we are going to start scoring. So the first thing we're going to score, and I know it's very hard to see, and I'm sorry about that. I should have chosen a white paper, but I'm going to bring this up here. The first thing we're going to score is these two dots that are right here in the corner. So we're going to score in here and in here, and that's going to give us two corners that we are going to use as flaps. So let's go ahead and do that. And honestly, even I can't see really what where I marked those things. Okay, there's one. So I'm going to mark that one, and I'm going to mark the other one because I don't know why, but it helped me to stay organized as to what I was doing. So you can obviously score these whatever works best for you. Now, we are going to score the second two marks. You remember those two marks in here? They are going to go scored. We're going to score diagonally all the way to the top of our center score line. So let's go ahead and do that. So I have my second little marking here, and you're not seeing. There we go. To the score line. There it is. So I'm aligning that as best as I can, right? And we're going to score. There's one. And now we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. So that one is a little bit rougher to see because it's further away, but I am sort of seeing it. And I am going to score again. From that mark we did to the top of the center score line. So right now, let me see. Yeah, you can see. So we have those two in the corner and these two panels. Now the next panel is we're going to score from the bottom corner, from each corner to that dot we made initially in here. And I don't want to mark it more with another color, but there's the dot. So I can see the dot, so it goes from the corner to the dot. And let's go ahead and do that. And then we're going to go back on the other side to the corner, or from the corner, sorry, to the dot. And there it goes. Okay, so that is our second piece. The last part in here is going to be connecting these two dots. You remember we had those two dots really close. So they are they are 3/4 of an inch from the center. So we're going to score those to that dot that we made also at 3/4 of an inch from the bottom. So let's go ahead and do one, and we're going to go ahead and do the other one. Let me remove my cutting blade. They're trying to cause some mayhem. Okay, so that's what we got. Let me show you up close. So that's what you end up with. Look, that's what you'll end up with. I don't know why I got so confused to get that pronounced. So now let me remove these out of here because we're not going to need it for now. We are going to fold, and these needs to fold. So the two corner are fold valley. Okay. Let's go ahead and fold them. I'm folding them in order. Again, it was just easier for me. The next two folds are fold mountain. And we're going to go ahead and get that a good crease. Okay. And these folds, so I'm just, there we go. I'm just starting to, so what I'm doing here is we've done these quite a bit because it's more or less the same concept. And it is with one finger, so with this finger, I am pushing down, and with this finger, I'm pushing up. So what I'm doing is just helping these fold. So helping these scored areas to fold the way I want them. And what is going to end up happening, okay, I'm pushing here, you have to push a little bit harder, is that I am going to now that this is a little bit folded, I'm going to push all the way and close, right? Because part of what helps the whole folding is the closing. Okay, now you can tell that these are fairly in the same place, fairly aligned with each other. Okay, and now I'm going to bring my bone folder and we're going to crease those two lines, those two score lines. Okay, the last piece is this tiny little triangle that we're going to push. So we're going to push it down and it's going to close. Why that triangle is there, I have no clue. I tried to figure out what it was. You'll see in one of the cards, I actually cut it up because it didn't make any sense to me. And what does need to happen is that when you put all this together in the card, you need to decorate this. So you need to put something that will fold with it up in when you open, so it folds and goes back. And it's not rough, but it's something that you have to plan. Let's go ahead and fold our main card base and give that a good crease. And what I'm going to do, guys, right now is we're going to go ahead and add the layers. The front needs a layer. We need 2 layers in here, and actually I am going to put another layer in here. Okay, we are going to be using today the Frames and Flowers, a specialty designer series paper. I love this paper. I love it so much that I'm almost done with it. I have created some other cards, and I'm using it for my Bible because it has all those little pieces, so I can use it to decorate for my Bible journaling. So but I saved some here and I have them here, so we're going to use those. So let's go ahead and start adding these pieces. I have them already cut. You know very well I do that often. So I decided that I really want these pattern paper in the front and in both of the inside flaps or the inside sides, because I feel that these, even if it has a little bit of a little bit of you know, some pictures in it, some images in it, they're very, very mild, and I think it's going to work great with the idea I have. And you guys know that is wishful thinking, so hopefully it works great with the idea I have. So let's go ahead and add these pieces to white card bases. Same as always, guys, I am using I'm using 1/8 of an inch. Sorry, guys. I guess my brain kind of went blank. So each piece is just 1/8 of an inch smaller than the previous piece, and so the white layers are all, in this case, 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Okay, and the DSP layers are going to be 4 by 5 1/4. Let's go ahead and add this. Now, this paper does have some direction, kinda, but I'm going to show you what I mean. So it does not have a direction in the sense that it can go either way, but I think that you just have to be mindful about that a tiny bit so you don't make mistakes. In the triangular pop-up piece, we definitely have to be careful with how we place our paper. I sadly have to tell you that I ruined a lot of paper doing that, and I was very upset on myself. Like, I put everything together for the card, and I didn't realize I had messed up my triangular part, and I was very, very upset. Very upset. Let me rephrase that. When I say very, I was really upset because I was using the new Iconic Celebration paper. Yeah, it was very sad. Anyways, let's go ahead and add these to the card base. So these 2 layers to the card base. And oops, that moved a tiny bit. I always forget how much glue moves if you do not pay attention, right? Now we're coming with the next one. And again, I'm just making sure that this is in the same, or they're looking in the same direction. There we go. Okay, so we have them there. I think that my camera is far too up there and I keep going down. So sorry about that. Let's go ahead and do the front. This card, guys, will have a belly band. You can do ribbons like we've done in the past. I mean, there's many other options that you can do, but it will need some closure, especially if you put as many layers as I do. It will need the closure, so it's partially my fault. We all know that. It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. You guys are fine. And then the next and the layer in the back. So this is going to be the layer in the back. And why am I putting a layer in the back? Mainly because we're not going to have a lot of space in the card to write. And so I figured that we all like to write our, something saying to our friends. And so if we are going to do that, then we might as well add something in the back with it. That was my thought. That said, you don't need it, right? You don't really need to do that. You are able to, and I'll show you here in a minute, you're able to create some different options in the card. I just chose to do this on the outside. Now that did not work very well. Okay. I hope it's not getting no juice. And I'm just making sure everything is looking okay. So this is going to be, again, our outside. I mean, our back. Okay. So, sorry. Yeah, it's working now. As you guys can tell, it is already getting thick, right? So, just saying. Let's bring back our trimmer. So now we need to cut the pieces for, so we need 2 pieces or 4 pieces. We need 1 for here, and so 1 for each side and 1 for each side. The way I found out easier to cut is you're going to need 2 pieces, and since I'm using white as a layer, you'll need 2 pieces of white that measure 3 7/8 by 4 7/8. And these pieces, you guys can tell, is already smaller than all the card base. And we're going to do something that we've been doing lately, and is I am not measuring anything. I am just bringing my pen and marking and then cutting. So I am going to cut here inside. So here is the, my, let me see, like this. Here is the score line. Here is the line that I'm really paying attention to, and I'm just getting in there, give or take 1/8 of an inch. And now let me maybe remove this 1 second. Remember that we don't need this. You can totally do this without this. Actually, that's probably a better idea. So fold your card base, and we are going to come here, and from that corner we're going to make another little mark there, about 1/8 of an inch. And now we're going to go ahead and make a mark in here. So here's that piece, so that's the next piece, and then it goes all the way to the corner, remember? So I'm just going to make a little mark right there, 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so that's how I did this one. I would say two things. You can totally do these, cut them together. I think that it will work well. And let's do that here just for the sake of saving some time. So now what we're going to cut is we're going to align those two dots that we marked. And where it is, there it goes. They're both of them. So the first top ones. I'm aligning as best as I can, guys, and cutting. And now we're going to go from the second two dots. And there they are, okay? So I am aligning the second dots we made, and we are going to cut those. Okay. So these are our two pieces. Now, don't discard these two pieces. These two pieces you can put away if you want. The other two pieces we're definitely going to use to make the other two parts of it. So what we have now is these two that will cover, or that will be layering here. I'm just making sure that this is working well. There's, you know, we all know that me and triangles or triangular forms are not best friends, and so I'm just making sure that, you know, it went well, and it does look fairly well. I'm actually going to put them like this so I don't get confused which one is which. And we're going to bring the same, so these are the two pieces that we got left over. And let me put this back in here. So this was the corner, the top corner. Those we're not going to reuse, but the lower corner we're going to use. And as you can tell, so these straight line the straight line will go along here, and then that longer line will go along that side. Now, off the top, you can tell this is a little bigger than that piece, and so what I am going to suggest is you grab your two pieces again, and you can cut about 1/8 of an inch in here. So I'm aligning these. Remember, you have a flat area in some parts of it. So I'm going to align these at 1/8 of an inch, and I'm going to cut those. Okay. And once I did that, I'm going to bring one of them back in here, and I'm just going to make sure what else I need to do. So I'm putting it right there. It looks like I need to cut, move up here, about another 1/8 of an inch on this side, on the long side. So I'm bringing putting them again together. Now I am using this side against the top of my trimmer, and I am going to cut, and I'm going to cut 1/8 of an inch. Okay, there we go. So we bring back our piece back in here, and we measure, and it looks very, very well. Now the last thing we need to do, remember that we have this spot in here, so we are going to align these two, right? Just like we've done, just center in the piece. And I'm going to make a little mark. And again, it's about 1/8 of an inch from that mark we had there. So where it folds, and 1/8 of an inch in here. And just like we've been doing, I'm going to grab both pieces together. I'm going to align them well, put them well together. And I'm going to get these in there. So aligning those two dots. And just making sure it all goes well. And there we go, I think. Okay, and we're going to cut those. Okay, so we made these two. And you pretty much probably guessed it. We're going to do the exact same thing for the second layer. So this piece is already small, a little smaller. This is 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. And what I did really, guys, I'm going to bring back my piece in here. I'm centering this just as we did with the other one. And you can tell already how much smaller this is than our previous piece. So we're centering right here on our card base. And I am going to mark about 1/8 of an inch. You can you can mark a little bit more if you want. And then I'm going to come back in here and mark another 1/8 of an inch, and then we're going to mark in here another 1/8 of an inch, give or take, and back in here. Sorry guys. So what you guys can see, definitely use it closed. I don't know why I keep not doing that closed. It's much easier, but I marked that, and it's really easy to see. You guys, can you see it? So I have one in here, one up there, and then the last one here. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to bring our 2 pieces, and we are going to cut them together. I have my 2 little dots aligned there in my trimmer. Love that my Stampin' Up! Trimmer because it does help with that piece. Just like in our white pieces, we're not going to use that. So I'm going to put them out of the way. And now I'm going to move here. So here are my 2 other dots. So one is right there, almost to the corner, and there is the other one. And whoops, I guess I need to hold that one. Let's do this the other way, Maria. So there it is, 1 dot, 2 dots, we got it. So I'm gonna cut that. And kind of like we had tried to use the other one, that's not gonna really work, obviously, for whatever reason. I think that we did something wrong in here. So let's go ahead and mark. Oh, I think I know what I did wrong. That is so not cool. Oh well. So the mark I did earlier was wrong. I was not paying a whole lot of attention. So that is the second mark. So we need to cut from where we were at. So this piece in here, from that corner to that mark we made. Don't do what I did and it's going to work well. And I'm just bringing them, trying to measure where we're at, if we're wrong. So see here, we can take about, I would take an 1/8 of an inch. So I'm going to align these as best as I can, guys. And I'm going to align it with my line, this really long brown line here. That is a 1/16 of an inch. But that means I'm just going to cut it a couple times because I feel safer if I do that. So I'm going to go back and measure again. And that way, I feel safer. Go back in here. And this adjusting is pretty normal when you have, or no, let me rephrase that. This adjusting can be pretty normal when you have these kind of like more challenging forms, geometrical forms, but especially because I'm challenged too when it comes to these kind of cuts. I have said it before, so this has worked very well. And I got this one wrong. I told you guys I shouldn't have done this. So do pay attention when you're cutting these. I'm sorry. Thankfully I have another piece right here, and we are going to need, all we need is these pieces. And since we already made the mistake with this one, let's go ahead and cut the whole piece all together. So I'm going to bring this back in here, guys. And this one is already bigger. So we need 3 3/3 by 4 3/4. And I think I got that at 3 7/8. So let me move that in here. Yeah. Okay. And I am just going to go ahead and save this piece for something else. And we're going to do this real quick. Again, I am actually going to stop the video now and then come back when I have it cut out. Okay guys, I am back. So I needed to cut again and did some adjustments. I do want to bring something to your attention because this is a paper that has a different side, right? It's 2 different sides, 2 different patterns on each side. When you cut each side, you have to, same as we've had talk many times, be mindful of using the right side with the right pattern. Otherwise, you're going to have the problem I had, which was I cut them together and it works very well, but it's on the other side. So just be mindful of that. Now I did not cut these pieces, so this piece is going to go here, and I'm going to go ahead and cut that same. Remember we had done that. We're going to cut the 1/8 of an inch of that edge, and then I'm going to bring it back in here, measure it, and like more or less the same we said before, it needs about another 1/8 of an inch, and I am cutting there. And this works fairly well in here. I'm going to make a little mark in here and another mark in there, and I'm going to cut that one. So I'm aligning those two dots just like we've done before, and I am going to cut it. Okay. Now I have the other piece that we still have to align for the other side, and we're going to do the same thing. Same process. Take an 1/8 of an inch already, and then we'll take an 1/8 of an inch from the other side. So we'll align on the short straight side at an 1/8 of an inch, and we'll cut. And then we're going to go ahead and align these in here and make those two, or yeah, mark those two little marks and cut again. Okay, so that is really the only complex piece. If you are using just one layer, then it's a little less cutting. I'm putting all my little pieces on the other side. So let's go ahead and start putting this card together. So we're going to add layers first because it's always easier when we add the layers first. Be mindful, and I'm going to do that with you because I do that most of the time. And when I'm in the video, in the live video, I kind of run through it. And of course, there's more mistakes. But do align. Make sure it's all, all fitting well. So it did fit well. So I'm going to bring my glue if it wants to work, maybe. And we're going to add, whoops. Now that was a lot of glue, so I am just going to go ahead and add, just put it all over, guys. And I don't know if you guys can see that there's a mosquito going back and forth and back and forth. Can't seem to find any piece. Okay, so there we go. So we have our first piece, and I'm going to go ahead and add these to my card base. Now, I'm going to say this. I don't know if you guys can tell. It is not perfect on this end. I made sure that the edges, so the top edge and the side edges, are really well aligned. Because in the end, and you're going to see it, we're going to put some decorations in here, and that's going to be, it's going to be less noticeable, right? And so definitely we do want to make sure that, at least the areas that are more noticeable are going to work well. And I'm bringing my second piece in here, and the piece that was a disaster, and we're going to go ahead and glue this. And just like I was telling you guys, make sure that it's really like nice on the edges, and I am way less concerned about the bottom because again that will be closed. So if you remember the card that I showed you from the Renat, I don't know how you say that, she had a beautiful pattern paper in the back, and she didn't do much of extras with, like, added much extras except flowers, and we're going to kind of create the same idea. Now I'm bringing these two pieces, and for some reason I am not seeing the other piece. Here it is. Sorry guys. Okay, so we're putting the pieces where they should go. Let's see, this needs to go like this. There we go. And as you guys can tell, let me show you. In spite of the fact that I cut quite a bit of it, I still need to cut a little bit more. So I am bringing them, and I'm going to cut. And this one is even bigger. Can you see? It's almost as big as our piece. So the easiest way to do some of these adjustments is adjusting in tiny little pieces in the straight side, because the straight side is the one that you're able to put really straight, obviously. Maybe right there. There it goes. Ah, that did not work very well. Thankfully, we have a lot to cut from here. So I'm going to bring a little piece of washi tape. I have told you guys I've done these in the past. It is just so much useful to do that. And so I am going to align these again at that. I'm going to leave a bit, you see where I cut it. So I'm just calculating here, right, really. And I'm going to put my piece of washi tape there, and we are going to cut. And look at that. So much better, right? So let's go ahead and measure this with our piece and see where we're at in here. I'm off camera. So this is the right angle. This all has the right angle right there, except this side. You guys can see that? So I am going to keep working on this a little bit. Probably part of my mistake was cutting without adding my washi tape. So I am not cutting, but now I'm cutting on that edge. And I just cut a tiny, tiny piece, guys, because I really have to be careful if I don't want to have to redo this again. I'm starting to run out of pieces. You know what I have decided? This is taking me too long. I'm going to put these out here, and this is going to be white. And I'll tell you why here in a minute. Same as before, you can barely see what is in here because this is going to be kind of like elevated like that. So this piece was, when I cut these, I guess see, it's not, oh, it's getting there. Let's try it, huh? Let's keep working on it. How hard can it be? So I'm going to bring it again. So I'm just not cutting on this side, but we need to cut a whole lot more on that side. And I don't know where I put my washi tape piece, but I'm bringing another piece of washi tape. Kind of there. We'll see if this works. Okay. And if it doesn't work, then we'll go for white. Hey, it's not bad to... look at that. That worked. It does not look perfect, but it works okay. And let's bring the other piece. This one is also a little bigger, but not as big. And so all I need to do is I align this as best as I can, and you guys can tell here. There it goes. It does have the same. So in this case, guys, actually I am going to use my pencil, and I'm going to mark that. And so I can see where is it that I really need to cut. Let's bring my washi tape again. And we're going to align these. You see it right there? I am actually aligning let me make it here. Aligning the mark I did with the brown thing. And that is because the mark was exactly with the white, and so we needed a little bit smaller. So hoping this works okay, and if it works okay, then we'll use them. If it doesn't, so this one is much better. I don't know what happened with that one. It's completely discombobulated. We'll have to use something here to organize it back and make it look better. I think it's this corner that was not really well cut. When I marked it, probably I didn't cut it, didn't mark it very precise. And so we're going to have to use some decorations there to make that look a little bit better. Okay. And there we go. And now we're going to go ahead and add these pieces where they should go. And it takes me a little bit to put this together for whatever reason. There we go. Try 3. So we have one, and then we have this one. One of the advantages of using less noticeable paper is that you actually get to play a whole lot more with it and making decorations. So there you go. It's not perfect. You guys can tell in there. It's not looking great, but we'll figure out how to decorate it and kind of cover all that. So let's go back in here with our card base, with our main card base. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to align these right here. And I'm going to fold these. You fold it back. Make sure this is aligned. So that straight line needs to go align. I guess the middle score line needs to go align with the card base middle score line as well. And all I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to put glue in here. And I'm putting a decent amount of glue, guys. And now, instead of doing this, because it moves, you see how it moves? Because it's thick, then all I'm doing is I'm not pushing here, I'm holding now with my fingers and realigning. So putting everything in the middle again, making sure everything's straight and gluing. Because what happens is, because this is so thick, it will move. And now we're going to do the rest of it. And it still moved a little bit. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing. I'm holding, and there we go. So I'm going to leave there for 1 second. So and now we have the mechanism attached. That doesn't look good. And now I'm going to fold it with all the folds together to tell the card exactly how it needs to go. And this is how the card looks. So you open and it opens up like that. And I think it's really cool. I think I'm missing something here to hold this, but I couldn't really see more. There were not enough pictures for me to look at other areas, and so that's where we're at. So let's go ahead and decorate this area, which we're going to have to really work in here. So I had planned initially to put one of these pieces, and we are using the Charming Duck Pond stamp set, and I'm going to have these have a lovely day because I think it's going to fit perfect in that little square. See, that looks really good. I am bringing, guys, my Misty because I've said this 100 times. I don't stamp things straight, and I don't want to have to go back to figuring out which other piece I still have available for this thing. So I am just going to bring my little stamp set. Sorry, guys. There we go. And my little stamp centered there in that perfect corner, in that perfect square. And we're going to use the Misty for this. And I think I want Calypso Coral. Just to give it a really good pop of color. I really like that. And I didn't mention this, but the frames and flowers designer's use paper, it's color, it matches, it coordinates with Garden Green, with Pretty Peacock, with Early Espresso, Granny Apple Green, Lost Lagoon, Old Olive, Petal Pink. I'm reading here. Pumpkin Pie. Oh, Shaded Spruce and Soft Seafoam. It didn't include it. Calypso Coral. I thought it was Calypso Coral, but this is going to look okay. Now that was funny. So what I'm doing is seeing where I have less of my mistakes and where I can put this one. And I think I want this one in here. And I am actually going to create from one of the pieces. Let me bring some, where is it? Here it is. I have another piece of Pretty Peacock, and we are going to, I'm going to make a piece of, I want to say 3/4 of an inch, and I'm just going to cut a piece. And from that one, I'm going to cut it at 2, and we're going to score every 1/2 inch. So there's 1, And then there's 2. So we're going to score a 1/2 inch at 1 inch and at 1.5. And I have been using the right side of my trimmer a whole lot more lately, guys. I'm not sure why. Like, there's no real reason for that, but it's just what's happening. This is driving me insane. We are going to remove it with our wonderful eraser. And let's go ahead, and I am going to bring some tear and tape now, because this is going to help. I'm going to put tear and tape on both of the edge flaps. So we have 2 flaps, so there's 1. I'm going to put another one in there. And then on whichever flap, it doesn't really matter, but I'm going to put 2 extra strips. So bottom line, there's going to be only 1 flap, 1 little area that does not have tear and tape. And now I'm going to remove one side. So I'm removing the side that has, no tear and tape right next to it. And that side needs to go, sorry guys, this is giving me, that side needs to go on the inside, so on the top. And I'm going to bring this in here. I'm going to center that as best as I can. And now I'm going to remove the bottom ones. And I put 2 pieces of tear and tape. You can totally just put 1. I've been doing this for a while, just putting 2s, and it really works well. Okay, and all we're going to do, guys, is we're just going to close the card. And it's going to hold that really well in there. Whoops, there it goes. And now we're going to remove the other tear and tape. And I'm using my fingers here to kind of hold that. Kind of giving that backbone. And now we're going to bring our little stamp flowers in there. And I'm making sure that there's enough in there so it really holds. And that looks so beautiful. I'm making sure it's not off here, but it does not, and so that looks beautiful. You could do it up higher. I've been thinking that that's another good possibility, so this does not go lower, but I decided to do it there, and it's working. Let me bring my bone folder, my take your pick here for a minute, so these actually stays where it needs to stay. Now this area is the one where I made more mistakes, it looks like, and thankfully I had like a variety of flowers that I wanted to use for this, so we'll see how we organize all these pieces in here in a way that we can cover some of those mistakes. So I am thinking I'm going to create like a little wreath kind of setting in there. Bring this one on top like that. Yeah. Bring this one like that, and then I'll put this one forward with one piece, and then we'll see what we can do. Something along those lines. So let's go ahead and start gluing these first. I am actually making these pop up because of my mistake in there. And so that's the reason. My glue is really rebellious. Okay, let's see. So I'm really going to bring this one all the way up in there because I did not cut that perfectly well. I know you probably saw it. And so I'm going to put it right there. It can even go a little higher. There it goes. Even a little higher. So I'm going to cover all those mistakes I made. I'm going to cover them with paper. And that, guys, is how you cover some of your mistakes, right? We are not perfect. Sometimes we cut things wrong. I don't know, whatever is happening. Maybe I was not seeing very well, right? Sorry, I'm trying to fix my glue. Well, I am here with you, which I shouldn't do, but here we go. And now this one is going to go a little bit like that. So it's okay. I'm just making sure. I need to remove it a tiny bit lower. There we go. Inside. So that's how we start creating our how would you call it? Our kind of arrangement, floral arrangement. Now I want to bring this one in here. Let me see, guys. Because I really want to cover that. It's really hard to see it, so I'm not going to really struggle with this actually. So I'm going to bring this one in here. So I have these big, let's start with this one. I have these big floral that has a lot of colors, and that one I really wanted to go in the middle. And then we have this one in here, which is why I was hoping to put this right there, but I am not sure I'm liking that. I have this other one though, and this one can break up that, and I think I'm liking that a whole lot better. Okay, so I'm just going to add glue in here. Just like that. And I'm going to bring our floral here, our flowers in there in the bottom. And there we go. I like that so much better. I was thinking actually we can probably bring some stuff in here extra, but I am liking it the way it looks now. So I don't really want to add anything more to these. I'm going to let this glue itself because it needs some help in there. And now let's go ahead and work on the belly band. So the belly band measures, this one measures 1.5 by 10.5. I don't know if you remember at the beginning, I said 10.5 by mistake. And we're going to score that at 2. And then at 2 1/8. And then we're going to go to, sorry guys, let me see, to 6.5 and score, and then we're going to go ahead and score at 6 5/8. Okay. Okay, it comes and goes. It comes and goes, guys. I'm so sorry. And I have in here, I already have, we can go ahead and bring our bone folder and crease those little score lines that we have. It's just creating some space for our thick card. And I am liking these a lot. So there we go. And now I do have a few pieces that are cut out. One measures 4 1/4, and this is the one in the back, by 1 3/8. So I'm gonna have that one. And for this one, I used one of our new embossing folders, the one that's called Dashing Designs. I really like it. So these this paper has a lot of florals, right? And my thought, and I may be mistaken, I don't know which one is the front and which one is the other one, but we're going to go with this side. When you have a paper that has a lot of florals, I think it's always a good idea to bring something that does not have florals at all. Maybe geometric patterns like this one, or maybe I don't know, other things that are not floral. Sorry, this was really rebellious. And so because it helps to kind of tone down all those flowers, right? Now this piece measures 3 3/4 by 1 3/8. And we're going to go ahead and put that one there. And we have one last piece that measures 1 7/8. Sorry guys, by by the 1 3/8. Okay, so let's go ahead and make sure that's glued well. The other thing I have been doing for the others, but I'm going to do this for this one too, is I've been adding ribbon. I know that I don't usually add ribbon, and that is a problem, guys, because I do have a lot of ribbons and I have to use them. There's just no way around it. So my thought process is I'm going to go ahead and add my ribbon here. We'll cut it right there because we don't need extra. I'm going to bring some more tear and tape. And this piece is a little bit rebellious there, so I'm going to throw that away. And then we're going to bring more tear and tape, and it's going to go right in the middle. And I have to tell you guys, of course, the people from Stampin'Up know this, but I really, really like that color combination of petal pink and Pretty Peacock. And I am going with my bone folder, guys, around this because those embossing folders, they're really good. They're really 3D, which makes it sometimes a little difficult for our ribbon to stay. This ribbon belongs to the Country Sweet Woods Country Woods Sweet, in case you're interested. And it comes in the duo, and it's part of the one that I am giving away this month. Okay, so now that we have that, now this is finally glued well. So this is how this is looking so far. We're going to need something in here that folds, and that will or may do. I am thinking this may be too long. There you go. So we're going to glue this in here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put like a line of glue right there on the whole thing. These will span, so I'm going to span it there with it. And then I am going to hold it there for a second. It's tilted. And now I'm going to close it. That was not supposed to happen. It's not glued completely, obviously. A little bit more. And this friend keeps fighting me. Okay. So I'm holding this one so it gets well glued. And then this one is right there. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to fold it and it's going to fold itself. You see how it goes? So we're going to give that a good push and it's going to fold itself. And in the meantime, I'm going to bring these right here and we are going to glue this. There you go. Now I'm just going to put a really huge amount of glue. Am I being exaggerated? Maybe. The truth is, my experience has been that was not supposed to happen, but my experience has been that if you have, again, embossed paper, it just has a harder time gluing. So I'm now cleaning my mess, but other than that, this is going to glue perfectly okay. In the meantime, and while that gets all set up, we're going to bring our the stuff that we're going to work for the front. I'm going to close this, put something on top of it so it's not crazy. And my thought process is we're going to put something here. I need a piece of white. I think this one is going to work. So here it is. What am I thinking? So I'm going to put a piece of white right here, guys, so I can actually, you know what? I'm not. Let's do some decoration together. I'm going to use in this one the Pretty Peacock. So let me bring some Pretty Peacock ink. And we are going to stamp these here in our little square. And there it goes. And now we are going to kind of cut this. I'm just going to go for it, guys. I know I'm not really good at it, but it's okay. So there we go. Decent enough. So what I was thinking initially is I'm going to cover this with this. Now I don't feel like that's a good idea. So my thought process is we're going to bring some of the decorations. Let's keep that in there. We're going to bring some extra flowers. I want some flowers chalking. I'm going to bring this one. Nope, that's too big. That's not the one that I had initially in mind. We're going to bring this on there. And we'll see. No, I think we need to keep that one there. So I was right at the beginning. We're going to put this one in the middle right there. And I'm putting everything away so I can really center this. Okay, so that's going to be center. I'm going to hold that for 1 second. And so it glues. Maybe it needs to be held on to more than 1 second. There it goes. And now we'll bring back our wreath and let's go back to decorating. So this one is going to actually go there. And then we're going to bring some of those. I think this is more like eucalyptus. I don't know what you guys think, but I feel that that's what it is. I'm going to bring one in there, and then we have one that goes the other way, and that one's going to go that way. And I have some extra leaves that I want to put up here, and I'm going to make them like that. And I have some extra flowers that I'm going to put in there just where these ends, and that's going to make our wreath. So let's go ahead and glue our stuff. So the first thing I'm going to glue, guys, I know this is kind of, but is this one. And I'm just putting a little bit of glue on them in the middle so I can really work around it. See, like that makes it easier. So let's go ahead and put some glue in here. Just like that. I'm going to make this one up here. And I'm going to bring the one that looks like eucalyptus that we have assumed it is. And this one is going to go right underneath like that. And we're going to bring the other eucalyptus that is there already. That's very funny. And it's going to go underneath a little bit above the area. Let me move this here so we can actually see it. Otherwise it gets really dragged into. And now I'm bringing those extra flowers. I'm going to bring one and I'm going to put it in here in one side, and I'm going to bring a little dimensional. I think it actually takes a big dimensional for the other flower, and we're going to put it on the other side. So like that. And that didn't glue, but it's glued to the other side, which is very, very funny. I think that I know what's happening. So this is going to glue well there. But on the other side, so on this side, I think it needs a dimensional. So I'm going to put a dimensional right there. Let's see if that really works. I think that that's what was kind of not helping these. There we go. Okay, I think that's better. And now we can just add some glue on each side. To get these. I don't know what's going on with my thingy today. My glue is very rebellious. And then that happens. Of course I knew that was going to happen. So I just take some out and that will do. Okay, so we're going to let these dry for 1 minute. I'm going to bring some bits of glue to these that is going to go there. So now these goes. I'm moving these. I'm centering these as best as I can. These moved. There we go. Now it's not moving. And I'm holding so it all dries. Okay. So while it all gets dry and beautiful, I'm going to move all the little pieces I don't need, and I'm going to let this dry. You know how the card looks like. We'll get it here in a minute. In the meantime, let me show you the other two cards I made. This one is one of my favorite sweets, that hot air balloon, and I am using some celebration paper, the die, some celebration ribbon. Just really, really beautiful concept. And then when it opens, we have our beautiful scene there. And then we close, and it has in the back. I heard something like, no, it's good. It's good. And something in the back to write. But then you can also put something here to write instead. But I really, really like this one. And then I, of course, made a Christmas one, and that's the one I was telling you. It was kind of like a disaster. So I am using the iconic celebrations. But on the inside, I use some stuff that from last year. I think it was last year. And I just like, so this is what I was telling you. You can totally write something here as long as the stuff doesn't go, because I didn't put anything here. So you can write something here, but you have no ability to write in this one. But it looks cool because you can put celebrate and the season. And I just really, really like how this looks. These dies and these trees were all part of a celebration gift as well. And I have rarely used it. And actually, if you see this one, you can tell how much thinner this is. This is the one that I was telling you guys that I just cut this one because I didn't want to put anything in there. And I am thinking that it may be better. It depends on how you design your card. But this is the next one. So let me show you. This one actually has little cloud in there that it belongs to the DSP. And it looks okay, but I'm just saying you could totally create something different, right? And just cut that. So this is the next card. And so I really, really hope you guys like it. Let's put this card together now that it is hopefully dry. Maybe. I'm holding this the wrong way, and that's not helping. Okay, so there we go. This one did not, needs a little bit more time, but all in all, it looks super, super beautiful. Let me move this in here. I really like this, like I said, and I know I said, I really like this color combination. I would have sworn to God that this was Calypso Coral and not Pumpkin Pie, but that's fine. We have a part in the back, and the back looks gorgeous with the ribbon too. And now we open these, and we have our beautiful card. Something does that, and I'm not sure what it is. It's really weird. Our beautiful card with this triangular pop-up, and we forgot some bling. So let me put this back in here, and let's bring some bling. And I have, guys, these gorgeous, it's called Pretty Peacock and Petal Pink gems, and I think that these are just perfect for our card. I'm going to use the petal pink if I can, and I'm just going to put some around, because again, I really think this is gorgeous. These gems are just flat out gorgeous. I'm going to put one in here, and then I'm going to bring a couple of the smaller ones, or a few of the smaller ones, and I'm just going to put them randomly in the wreath. I'm going to bring some light to the wreath. These gems are absolutely gorgeous. I think they are still available, so I would totally get them. Okay, that one is a little rebellious. I'm not sure what's happening with me and these. So I have two here, those there. I think we definitely need one here, and I'm going to put it right there. And I'm going to bring another one, like, yeah, I like it, like right there. Okay. And that is your card. Guys, I really, really hope you like this. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll be seeing you on Friday. Have a really, really good good rest of your day. And I hope since I'm uploading these on Independence Day, I hope that your day and your celebration is full of civic devotion to this amazing country, and keep in mind how many wonderful how wonderful our country is. So happy 4th of July to all of you, and hoping that you celebrate safe, celebrate mindfully, and you have a lot of fun. Bye.